Retrospectives. Retrospectives can be described as a retelling, exhibition, or collection of past work and events. But looking at the definition won't make this video very interesting. That's why we need to first take a look at the history of retrospectives and only briefly mention its origins. What are retrospectives? The first known use of the word retrospectives goes back to 1664, where it was used as an adjective. Another way to say this is that in 1664, someone used the terms retrospect and ive to describe their retrospection of the past. Retrospect being borrowed from Latin retrospectrus, the perfect passive participle of verb retrospicio, which means to look back. And ive, the feminine version of the Anglo-Norman if, had its usage change due to the masculine if being replaced with y. While this is all very interesting, the term retrospective as it is used today wasn't known by the public until almost 3 centuries later in 1929. The word we're looking for, and the word that this video is using, is the noun form of retrospectives, equally known as a review of the creator's work. But the term became used for things other than people with the rise of an easier way to share information. With the internet, more and more people were turning to forums and blogs to post their retrospectives. But as it became easier to broadcast, retrospectives slowly moved over. First, taking a step back, we look at the rise of video retrospectives and the platform these video essays are on. The prime place you can find video-based retrospectives are on YouTube. But how did retrospective creators find and expand their home there? Taking a look at YouTube's analytics over time, they peaked most from November 18, 2012 up until December 27, 2014. Keeping YouTube's 2 peaks in mind, we can take another step forward and look solely at video retrospectives growth on the platform. The first known instance of a retrospective on YouTube can be found on Oliver Harper's YouTube channel. It was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles the Movie 1990 Retrospective/Review, uploaded on January 8th, 2012. This was just after one of YouTube's smaller peaks, and I believe gave him enough traction to upload to this day. Moving on to Stephen Thomas, who uploaded their The Dark Knight Trilogy Epic Retrospective on November 25th, 2012, seemed very different from the kinds of retrospectives known today. Yet, they continued uploading even to this day, pushing this form of content. Moving on to a big game changer for content, 2005's Deep Purple, a critical retrospective, was re-uploaded on May 9th, 2014. The largest video retrospective seen on YouTube yet. Very likely foreshadowing for the future today. This seemingly sluggish start on content had finally started to become relevant when 3 now-respected creators showed up and uploaded collectively 9 highly influential retrospectives in that time span. Following this, 30 high-quality videos, 7 hardworking creators, and a YouTube movie all showed up in 2014. This had pushed the idea of retrospectives past YouTube and into the world. 2015 had 13 new creators and another 30 videos. While the new creators were great, the video count had been stagnant, showing the departure and hiatus of some big but older creators. What seemed to be just a sluggish start had gone on the decline. Again. With this high quality but still flawed content, it might have ended altogether in 2015. And what seems like a failing idea was later given new hope in 2016, when 18 new creators and older creators started uploading again. This gave us more than 70 videos in 1 year, more than twice the amount we saw last year, all retrospectives. With 4 years left to go, and this type of content in the YouTube space ever growing, it's more urgent than ever to talk about what this means. The increasing number of retrospectives makes it so that there are 101 solely in 2018. Moreover than that, 11 months ago to May 22nd, 2020, there were more than 300 uploaded to YouTube alone. If you haven't seen the problem yet, I can say it in just one word: oversaturation. The oversaturated market of retrospectives makes it impossible to not find duplicates of every topic. There are probably hundreds of them outside of YouTube, but focusing mainly on the video retrospective market lets us see the damage that it's causing. Everything must be renewed eventually, but the way retrospectives are going, it may be far too soon. The oversaturation of the kids channel market caused every kids channel to look the same, and the ones that took to create good content ended up having to leave. An oversaturated market is an expiring market, and retrospective content is becoming too similar for comfort. They all have to have a point to them, and they all have to have its market base. Creators with good content are hard to find, so I fill that hole with relatable content, but it's hard to find a crane if it's too short to tell apart from chicken. I got too worked up. My point is this: if it's so easy to make 20-minute retrospectives, then why don't you make them stand out? If content keeps getting similar and similar, you'll never be able to find anything decent. Retrospectives aren't relatable. People are.